Alright guys, real quick, this video is not finished. We'll be doing another one, and the next one I do will be on block preparation for main caps and things you need to do to your main caps to make sure your block survives. And again, we're going to be doing some stuff on camshafts as well for survival. And enjoy this video. Please watch the whole thing. Keep it in context. This is not a racing engine, but it is a street engine, and it can put years on your engine. It can put years on it, guys. You wouldn't believe the crap I've seen. So, enjoy the video. Alright, people. The subject right now is going to be crankshaft, oil, hole, and chamfering. And what I have here is a forged big block Chevy crank, and as you can see, after polishing, the oil holes to the rods and things like that are pretty sharp edged, and I certainly don't want it that way. And here's one of the main oil holes. Now we polished it, and then of course before we seriously clean it, we wanted to make sure everything was good, so I polished it and mic'd everything. Then I'm going to do a before and after for you. Now, I'm right-handed, and the crank rotates in this engine clockwise, so I like to work with the front snout of the crank to my right. So I got one hand here. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess here. And what I'm going to do is use a cartridge roll, and I'm pretty good with it, but I don't know, we'll see. If it gets scary with one hand, I may have to stop and put the phone down. Alright, let's see. Let's get some of this off here. Now it's just a smudge, but you can see now what I've done there. And of course we can make them much bigger than that. But you could stop there and it would be a pretty good job. Alright, let me get the rods done. I'm gonna put the phone down for this because I need both hands. Sit tight. So we got before, and we have after. And again, this is just breaking the edge, okay? And it really does help the oil feed to the bearings. Now on my high RPM stuff, I do make it bigger than that, but this is a restoration for a big block Chevrolet, and that's all it needs. But I do recommend making sure that your oil holes are chamfered. Now here's an example of one that's a little more aggressive, and I'm actually going to go back and see. I can't see there. There we go. Probably going to work this edge here out a little bit more right here, just a little bit more. But all that edge is now broken. It's not sharp edge anymore. It's nice and rolled. So you're not trapping the oil with a sharp edge or causing it to aerate air bubbles from sharp edges. Anyways, just thought I'd show you little tricks of the trade. Have a good day. Okay, next I want to show you the deck preparation. So obviously I had to deck this block and razor sharp edges. And the top of the cylinders aren't too bad. By the way, you do not want to, if you bore a block and deck it and hone it later, you want to make sure you break that edge before you run your hone through it, because that sharp edge right there will mess up your honing stones. So always chamfer that before you hone the block. Anyhow, I'll show you what we do with the chamfering and the edge breaking and all that. So here we go. Okay, so again, I'm going to use the same tool. And broke my straw. I need to put a new one. I use a straw on my shaft there. That way it doesn't scratch up the surface if I bump it with the shaft. But I use the same tool here. I'm sorry for the camera, guys. I'm doing this by myself. Un momento. All right, here we go. Thank you. Thank you there, cutter head. Here we go. All right, now remember, this thing rotates in one direction, right? So if you notice, it rotates clockwise. So you got a choice. You can either go against the cutter or you can go with the cutter. Now, if you're not comfortable, I recommend going with the cutter because it's a lot easier to control. And of course, if you have two hands, this is much easier to do, but I'll show you roughly what I'm doing here. Okay, does everybody see that? Nice broke edge there. Oh yeah, slick as glass. Now you say, well, why do you do that? Because these sharp edges will break off, guys. They will flake right off. They get in your oil and they cause damage to your engine. So this way, I ain't got to worry about it. Now I'm going to do the entire surface all the way around, outside edges too. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to chamfer every one of these holes. You say, well, why do you do that? Because anytime you have a radius or a broken edge there, it actually adds strength. And again, you're getting rid of the metal splinters and debris that will break off just because they're so fine there on the very edge corners. So we get rid of them. And the way we do that is with this tool right here. This is basically a countersink, and I'll show you the before and after, and I do it to every hole that I can. All right, let's get my phone right here. Here we go. There's one. You can see it's got a very sharp edge. And let's hit it here. All right, look at that. I need to tighten this up in my chuck a little bit. Did you see that nice, pretty round edge? I love it. And what it says to me is that guy took time to do the job right. All right, I've tightened this up now. Sorry about the phone, guys. Now you can do your bolt holes as well. That's all you need. Just a little pressure. Beautiful. And I also do this. That's nice. Smooth. Looks good. Hope you can see the difference. Look at that edge. That's quality work right there. And it adds strength and it gets rid of the trash that gets in your oil. And like I said, I'll do the entire thing. The entire thing will be done. I also do the bottom of the cylinder heads as well. All right. Okay, we're back and I've got the whole deck all the way around the block done. Chamfered all the holes. Cut all the way around the block. And you can see it's just a nice looking job. But it's a nice looking job that has meaning. Like I said, it will keep your oil cleaner. And anytime you're keeping your oil cleaner, the engine will last longer. And in here, I don't get all crazy. This is not going to be a race engine. This is a, I don't know, 400 or 500 horsepower big block going in a car. And I just knocked the loose junk off of here so nothing will break and fall in, but I'm not getting crazy on this particular job. We also micro polished the lifter bores, and they are slick as a baby's butt too. Very nice. I wish you could be here to feel them. Compared to original, boy, they feel good. And I just use a particular tool that I have with some little compound and just a few strokes, and it knocks the high spots down. Does not change the diameter at all. And you know, again, anytime you're cutting down on heat and parasitic loss, you're making power. And if nothing else, adding longevity is never a bad thing. So there you go, folks. Just a tip for you. Have a good day. Hey, folks. Brown Salter here, and I just want to show you a couple things you need to do. Really pay attention to. Whenever you get a block bore and honed, check your bottom of your cylinders. Because what you'll find is when the machine came through to bore it, it is razor sharp right there, razor sharp. And what happens is when that piston comes down on the bottom of the stroke, it starts scraping off pieces of aluminum and pieces of cast iron. It gets in your oil and basically becomes a very abusive liquid sandpaper in your oil. You don't want that. So one of the ways to get rid of it and add lots of longevity to your engine is by simply taking a grinder with a 6-inch mandrel and just coming in here and going around the outside diameter of the bore. And I'll demonstrate that for you. I'm going to do this one-handed, but I've been doing this for many years, so don't try this one-handed, but here we go. Okay, whew, that wasn't nerve-wracking at all. Now, I had my pressure turned way down so the thing didn't go out of control, spinning 20,000 RPMs on me. But boy, that is way better now. That is slick as a whatever. And that right there will prevent you from causing, you know, metal flakes and debris getting in your oil. Anyways, there's a good tip for you. Now, here's a picture of one that I would do for, you know, an all-out racing engine. You can see the lifter bores there and the cam bearing, but this is the bottom of the cylinder, and you can see how we roll it in. Just a really nice looking job. That's what I would do for an all-out racing engine. And here's the same block. This is the cylinder wall coming down to the main webbing. And you can see the main bore housing for the crank journal to your right. All this gets blended in real nice. And again, this is that block. Sitting right here in my shop, working on it. A lot of time goes into this stuff, but it's well worth it. The gains for oil control is better, especially if you run a dry sump and everything's super clean and slick inside. It just pulls the oil off of everything that much better. Once you break the edge on the bottom of the cylinder, as far as piston wear, it ain't going to get much better than that. But the reason I radius all this stuff for racing is because when we do dry sump engines, it does make a difference pulling the oil off of all the rotating assembly. It just helps it, gives it a better, clearer path. It also puts some strength in the block because you're getting rid of stress risers and you know, you're stress relieving the block. So it's just a good thing to do. A lot of time involved. Is it worth doing on a street cart? No, not really. For racing, yes. Most of you will find I'm very particular. Some people don't think that, you know, little things are important, but they very much are to me. I mean, you know, if something moves at all, I notice it. Therefore, if it's, you know, half a degree different, then I'm going to pay attention to it. And a lot of people won't, but that's just how I'm wired, because once you've been in the NASCAR world, you can't think any other way. You just can't help it. But details matter. Details really matter. So, yep, this is important to me. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what all this looks like when you do one all out. Yeah, so basically, during block prep, I just went to Harbor Freight, and I have like 3 of these. You get what's called a gravity feed spray gun, low pressure, and of course I cleaned it really, really good. I put, once I cleaned it, I roughed the surface up with some 400 grit paper on the heads. That's aluminum heads. 400 grit, and then I put etching primer on it. Once that seated, once that dried real good, then I shoot it with this. This is Hugger Orange, and it's pretty much Chevy orange. This particular paint is ready for high temp. It was a little bit costly, but boy, it does a good job. And it just does a really nice job. And when I get this thing finished put together, it will be beautiful. And of course, the aluminum that shows here, it won't show because the gaskets will be there. But yeah, all this is just, it makes for a really nice job for somebody. So you know that internally the engine is done right, and externally the engine is done right. And that's why we're the best. Alright. Alright guys, again, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to put out, you know, good content to help you. Like I said, we've been doing this a long time and learned some things over the years that helps. And I got some really cool cam stuff that I'm going to be doing soon. And some dynos that I'm going to be videoing for you. And let's see, I don't know, lots of stuff coming up. Some working with some other people that you know. But thank you for subscribing. Yeah, man, I hope you guys have a great week. I know I am buried to my eyeballs. And I have been for many years. Sometimes I question whether, well, never mind. Hey, look, if this helps you, let me know. And if you'd like a shirt or hoodie or hat or something cool, you know, go to https://salterracingitemorder.com. And I'm sorry about some of the video. I don't know, my phone's messing up. I gotta get a new phone. But even though I had it turned, it kept trying to record it like as if it was straight up. It wouldn't rotate. So then I had to go and unrotate it in the video. And like I said, I'm still doing all this by myself. I'm getting better at it, but I don't know. I ain't that good at it. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Have a good one.